Good morning students, welcome to virtual class. In the previous video, I have discussed with you about the insects, how they looking, what are their main body parts, what they eat, how many legs they have, how many wings they have they have bones or not. So, today we are going to read the chapter. We all often see many tiny creatures such as houseflies, mosquitoes, butterflies around us. They are all known as insects, and you know that insects is the largest group of animals on the earth. Look at the pictures in your book. Write the name of the insects. Number 1 is honeybee, number 2 is mosquito, number 3 is butterfly, and number 4 is wasp. As you know, there are more than 1 million kinds of insects that are found on the earth. These include flies, mosquitoes, grasshoppers, butterflies, beetles, and bees. All these insects have different size, different shape, different colors, and many other features. And I already told you that different insects have different eating habits. Some can feed on plants, some can suck nectar from flowers, some can suck human blood, and some can eat other bugs. There are some insects which help in the production of another flowers and fruits, etc. So this process is known as pollination, and we are going to discuss about the pollination. Before telling about the pollination, you have to know the different parts of the flower. Look at the picture. There are the different parts of the flower mainly. That one is pedicel, thalamus, sepals, and colorful petals, and then pollen grains. You can see in this picture. Now, different flowers have two types of reproductive parts. Number 1 is male reproductive part. Number 2 is female reproductive part. Male reproductive parts include filaments, anther, and stamens. Anther and filament, jointly known as stamen. That is yellowish, dark yellowish part, that is known as anther. It helps in pollination. Now comes to female reproductive parts. Look at the female reproductive parts. That is known as carpel. In the center of that is ovary, a long tube that is style, and top of the part is stigma. Stigma, style, ovary, all known as a carpel part of a flower. Look at the picture. There is a honeybee. It sits on a flower. When it sits, the pollen grains stick on the wings and legs of that honeybee, and when this honeybee sits on another flower, it transfers these pollen grains into another flower. That is known as pollination. Some flowers, like hibiscus flower, they have both male and female reproductive organ in a single flower. That is known as perfect flower. And some flowers, like pumpkin, it has different flowers. That means male flowers and female flowers are different. So pollen grains from male flowers are transferred from male flower to female flower. So now look here. Number 1, pollinator visits flowers to collect nectar. Pollinator means honeybee. Honeybee comes to that flower and sit on it and suck nectar from flower. At that time, the pollen grains stick to their legs and wings. When this honeybee goes to another flowers, look at there in third, Fourth point, pollen is transferred to the stigma of the flower. So that process is known as pollination. So pollination is a process of transferring pollen grains from one flower to another flower or one place to another place. That is known as pollination. And pollinator would be any insect which sits on that flower. Now there is homework for you. Read lesson 6 insects and learn about pollination. Thank you. Have a nice day.